As the firework display comes to an end, so our work of the evening begins. All of the equipment and the superstructure that has been formed to create the speedway track within the Millennium Stadium has to be taken down and the stadium returned to its owners by Monday afternoon. The first task is to remove all of the air fences from the backing panels and then to lay them down flat on the track and deflate them. Once they're like this, we then use a forklift truck to lift them up and place them into specially made containers. The next task is to remove the white line, which is made up of wooden posts bolted together. The material down near the white line is extremely hard indeed and has been very heavily compacted. And once that has been completed, we start to remove the various parts of the superstructure, the steel work that holds the track in place. It's absolutely vast, holding a track which in some places is up to 1 metre deep. It's quite dangerous work because in some places, as soon as the steel superstructure is removed, it falls back away from the shale. As the evening progresses and we move into Sunday morning, the lorries begin to appear to take the vast amount of shale, 3,500 tonnes worth, away. Nearly 75 lorry loads are required, and the lorries appear up the ramp and then into a loading bay where they're filled by some of the enormous diggers. They then make their way down out of the stadium and off to the quarry where the shale is stored. This continues in a process for the next 3 hours. As the shale is being removed, so we begin to store the steel superstructure and get a chance to have a look at some of the shale. It's remarkable how compact it is, and also how the level of moisture stays exactly the same from the bottom right up to the top surface. The shale itself has been laid on an asphalt and concrete base, and thus there's very little opportunity for any excess water to run away whilst watering is carried out as the shale is being laid, and then the watering that is necessary during the meeting itself. All this has to be extremely carefully controlled. And still the diggers start to dig up the shale and we remove the superstructure. Slowly but surely the Millennium Stadium is returning to its former state. It is hard work and we are quite exhausted. But we get on so well with the Danish crew, and they are such a delight to work with, that we'll be surely volunteering our services next year. The work on building the stadium actually begins on the Monday before. The superstructure comes in and the shale follows it on the Tuesday and Wednesday, with the track being readied on the Thursday for practice on the Friday. But whilst it takes several days to construct the track, the whole lot has to be removed in a matter of hours. Another lorry arrives, waiting for its load of shale. And as that one moves into place, so another one moves away. We work our way around the corners and then start upon the straights. Fortunately, the shale on the straights is only 9 inches deep and is much easier to manage than the 1 metre deep amounts that we find on the corners. The green carpets that cover the centre green have long been rolled up and taken away, and we are the only people left working in the stadium. The start line. The last of the parts of the track to be removed. We're now well into the early hours of the morning. We're tired and it's very noisy, but there's a real sense of teamwork. Some of the Danish lads don't know an awful lot of English, but then I suppose they know far more English than we know Danish. But nevertheless, we get on well. And at 3 AM, stop for a breakfast break before continuing our work. The last few lorry loads are now being ready, and soon the steelwork will be taken out of the stadium and loaded into the Grand Prix lorries. It's a remarkable feat of work. And so, at 3:45 AM, Edwin Hutchinson, Dave Cook and myself make our way out through what had once been the pits area. Everything is quiet, everything has been swept. We leave the stadium and the sky is still dark. We've now got to find our car park and make our way home as we say farewell to the Millennium Stadium in 2012. It's been a fantastic experience.